Let me tell you something that might scare you a little. And it should. I just walked out of a 6-hour shift stocking shelves at a grocery store. My feet are on fire. My back feels like it's cracking in half. My knees, both replaced, and they still hurt. And I'm 89 years old. Tomorrow morning, my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. because I have to be back at work by 6. This was never supposed to be my life. I was supposed to be retired decades ago. I was supposed to be sitting on a porch somewhere, watching the sun come up, maybe laughing with my grandkids, maybe finally reading the books I always said I'd read when I had time. Instead, I stand on cold concrete floors for hours, smiling at strangers and asking, "Did you find everything okay today? You want to know how this happened to me?" One word, later. I spent nearly 60 years saying I'd do things later. I'd save later. I'd plan for retirement later. I'd worry about the future later. And now later is here, and I'm still working because I don't have a choice. Here's the part people don't understand. They think this kind of life only happens if you were poor. We weren't poor. My husband worked a solid union job for over 3 decades. Good benefits, steady income. We owned our home. We took family vacations every summer. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. We always had enough. What we didn't have was extra. Or at least that's what we told ourselves. There was always something more important than saving. One year a kid needed braces, another year a wedding, another year a lawyer, another year a roof, a car, a medical bill. Every single year there was a reason why this wasn't the year. And every single year I said the same thing. We'll start next year. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. The perfect time to start saving does not exist. There will always be a problem that feels urgent, a bill that feels unavoidable, a reason that feels responsible. And if you wait for the right time, you will wake up one day nearly 90 years old, standing on concrete, wondering how your life went this direction. I promise you, that's how it happens. Let me give you a picture of what I didn't understand until it was too late. In 1975, I was 37 years old. If I had started saving just $50 a month back then, barely a dinner out, barely noticeable, I could have changed my entire life. By the time I turned 67, that money would have grown into well over $200,000 thanks to compounding interest. And yes, I know math isn't perfect in memory, but you get the point. A small habit over decades makes a massive difference. Instead, we spent it on things that didn't matter. Cigarettes, bowling nights, eating out, little luxuries we barely remember. And I don't regret all the fun. Life is for living. But that $50 a month could have meant freedom. Freedom to retire. Freedom to enjoy the sun on my porch. Freedom to not have to work at 89 years old. My knees screaming with every step. Here's the truth. If you are 30, 40, or even 50, it's not too late. But every year you wait, the problem grows. Time is the one thing you can't get back. The money has less time to grow. And if you wait too long, you end up like me, praying for a miracle that isn't coming. And let me tell you something else that hit me like a brick. My husband, Stan, died suddenly in 2014. Heart attack. He was 76. We had been married 55 years, and in an instant he was gone. We had always believed our pensions and savings would carry us through, but when he died, most of that money went with him. I get $847 a month in survivor benefits. Social Security adds $2,100. That's less than $2,000 a month. My rent alone takes nearly half of that. We thought we were prepared. We weren't. We assumed, and that assumption almost ruined me. So here's another lesson I learned the hard way. If you have a spouse with a pension, ask exactly what happens when they die. Get it in writing. Don't assume, because surprises like mine will crush you emotionally and financially. Working at 89 is hard, really hard. By the end of a shift, my feet swell, my back aches, my knees scream. I can't lift heavy boxes anymore. They mostly put me on lighter tasks, canned goods, paper products, 22 hours a week, $14.50 an hour. Do the math. It's barely enough. And the young coworkers, they're kind. They help me lift things, but you can see the judgment in their eyes sometimes. Why is this old woman still working, they think, and I want to grab them and say, because I made the same mistake you're making right now. I believed I had forever. Working at 89 isn't just physically painful, it's emotionally exhausting too. Every morning, my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. I pull on this uniform, I tie my shoes, I brace myself, and I go stand on cold, unforgiving concrete for hours. I watch the younger people around me. They're energetic, strong, hopeful. Sometimes I catch their eyes, and I see the question there. Why is this old lady still working? And I want to scream at them because I believed I had forever and I wasted it saying later. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your kids don't need you to bankrupt yourself for them. We spent decades bending over backwards for our children, braces, weddings, bailouts, favors, gifts. And every time we told ourselves, we'll replace it later. We never did. Yet my kids turned out fine. Tommy's teeth aren't perfectly straight, and that's okay. Stevie made mistakes, and yes, he repeated some, and that's okay. Linda, my daughter, helps when she can, and that's enough. You see, giving children everything doesn't guarantee their happiness. What they need is for you not to be a burden when you're old. Because I am. I couldn't tell my kids how broke I was for years. Pride wouldn't let me. And now at 89, I ask for help sometimes. A few $100s for groceries just to make it through the month. All the money we spent thinking we were helping them. We weren't really helping ourselves. And if I could turn back time, I'd say no more often. I'd prioritize my future over fleeting emergencies. I'd start saving earlier, even in small amounts. I'd let them survive without every little thing. Here's a reality check you need to hear. Social Security isn't enough. Pensions aren't guaranteed forever, and your health may fail long before your bank account is ready. The clock doesn't stop for anyone. At 89, I see it every day in the reflection of my own body, in the swelling of my feet, the ache in my knees, the exhaustion in my back. I stand there stocking shelves, thinking about the life I imagined, a life with my husband, a life of rest, a life of freedom. Instead, I got this, a life of working because I ignored the one thing I could control, my financial future. So here's what I want you to do. Not next month, not next year, today. Whatever you can save, start now. Even if it's just $20 or $50 a month, it counts. Set up an automatic transfer so you don't even have to think about it. Out of sight, out of mind, but growing every month. Pretend you make $50 less than you do. Pretend it's gone and save it anyway. Because if you wait for the perfect moment, I promise you it won't come. Understand this. Your money in retirement is your freedom. No one can take it away. Social Security won't cover your needs. Pensions can vanish. Your future self deserves protection. Don't rely on luck. Ask questions. If your spouse has a pension, find out what happens if they pass. Get it in writing. Know exactly what's coming. Assume nothing, because surprises will destroy you. Here's another tip. Don't overgive to your kids at the cost of your future. Braces, weddings, bailouts. Yes, help them when it matters, but don't bankrupt yourself. Your children can survive without every luxury. You can't survive without financial security. And if you're young, picture yourself at 89, standing where I am, exhausted, aching, wishing you had started sooner. You're going to get there faster than you think. And when you do you want to be resting or working because you delayed action for 60 years? You have time, but time is not infinite. Every $50 you save now compounds into something huge later. Every month you wait, you make it harder. And one day you might find yourself asking your children for help because you didn't plan for your own life. So here's the bottom line. Start saving today. Automate it. Ask questions about pensions and Social Security. Don't overgive to your kids at your own expense. Stop saying later. Later is a lie. There's only now. And if you're lucky, you'll have decades to make it grow. Because I wasn't lucky. I'm 89 years old, standing on concrete, stocking shelves, living the consequences of 60 years of later. And I'm telling you, don't do what I did. Every morning, I wake up before the sun, 5 a.m. I pull on my uniform, I tie my shoes, I brace myself, and I head to work. I stand on concrete for hours. My back aches, my knees scream, my feet swell, and I do it because I didn't start saving when I should have. This wasn't the retirement I imagined. I pictured resting. I pictured traveling. I pictured spending time with Stan, enjoying the golden years we worked so hard for. Instead, I got this. And if you're watching this, I want you to see yourself in my shoes. Picture 89 years old. Picture what life could look like if you keep saying later. Now ask yourself, do you want to be working because you waited too long or living the life you planned? There is no magic. There is no do-over. There is only now. Start saving today. Even a little matters. Automate it. Protect your future. Ask questions. Plan. Stop saying later. Your future self will thank you. Your family will thank you. And most importantly, you'll thank yourself for taking control before it's too late. I've got a few more years left, and I'm spending them working because I didn't act sooner. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait. Start now, because there is no later. There's only now, and then there's too late. And trust me, 89 is too late to start if you wait another 60 years.